All right. So back again. Today I have a day off. Of course, it's Sunday. All right. So back again. So I want to share with you how hard it is dating as a guy who's valuable in his industry. So the number one problem is image. Dating. When I date, I have to beware of the image that it sends to people I have to interact with for money. There's a thing a guy told me back in 1999, 2000. He said, I can't just date any woman. I have to be with a woman I can take around business partners. Let me say it again. He said, I can't just date any woman. I can only date the women that are easy for me to take around business partners. This is very important to understand for the 7.0 black man who isn't like the 3.0 black man. The 3.0 black man, he just wants to argue, complain, stuff like that. Okay. The 7.0 black man is totally different. Totally different. What we do as 7.0 type of brothers, salute to you, sir. You can hit the link and come on in if you wish. When you're a brother who's valuable to your industry, when you're a brother who's known around your building, you just can't interact with any old type of woman. Because when you have to bring that woman around your business partners or coworkers, Christmas company dinners or whatever, you don't want them saying, "Oh, is that what he chose? Oh, his girl. Oh, look at all those tattoos," because it devalues you as a dude. And see, sir, when women have this thing where they think that shouldn't matter to you, well, it does because you're a guy and you operate on different rules. So the woman and her whole it doesn't matter concept or it shouldn't matter concept has nothing to do with the benefit of guys. Can you understand that, sir, in the chat room? Women have this thing where they're trying to convince guys that how you have to move as a man doesn't matter. And when you're dealing with those type of women, then it's harder for you to be respected like I am in my industry. I'm the only black man where I work. Every other black man is doing something low production, low value. All the other black men are doing stuff that white people don't respect. You see what I'm saying? So as black men, you always got to beware. You got to beware that when you're dating certain people, you're really putting your image in jeopardy. Let me give you another example. You're dating somebody and you think it's nothing because you just trying to smash. Next thing you know, this woman just gets vindictive and tries to put a case on you. Well, guess what? Happens all the time. But you've just jeopardized your position at work. This is what I'm saying. You can't, I can't, I can't as an established black man. I'm not a black man that's just hiding out at his house on the laptop. No. I compete with white folks. I'm not a black man sitting up here just trying to see what happens. No, no. I'm a dude that hires other black men. Let me make that important for you. I hire other black men. I manage black men. I manage Indians. I manage Asians. I manage white people. So my situation is totally different than a guy who makes his money hiding away from white people, serving white people, being the Buffalo Soldier for white people. I'm not on that. And the reason I make that point is because when it comes to power, and I talk a lot about power on this channel, dating, for all the ladies listening, I, as a value industry guy, as a guy who's respected all around the building, I can't interact with with a woman who might jeopardize that. I can't. I can't. I can't interact with a woman who might jeopardize that. And what's so funny is many times women can't understand because they're looking at it from the standpoint, my last 14 boyfriends didn't care about that. You lame. See, it's name calling. It's you must do it the way my last 14 boyfriends did it. No, I can't do that. Also, you'll see people be like, why are you with that basic looking chick? Because the basic looking chick serves my needs. Or they'll say, why are you with that very attractive chick? I thought you liked basic chick. Because currently this very attractive chick serves my needs. I don't look at females for the sake of whether they are baddie. I don't even use terms like that because those are female created terms. Either she serves my purpose or she doesn't. Okay. Either she's somebody I'm trying to keep for the long term or she's not. And that's the problem when you're talking with guys who are used to female created language and they're not used to man created language. You know, they're used to stuff that the women approve of. Let's hear from Sir. Let's hear this and tell you know what? Here's something so beautiful. I get to get Sir on here and nobody interrupts him. We get to actually hear from him. Go ahead, Sir.
Salute to you, brother.
You as well.
Salute to your channel and to everybody who comes in and out the chat, and everybody's going to listen to it on the playback. I just appreciate you bringing me up on your panel. I really appreciate how you come into chats, the manner that you speak and how you speak. I find that even if I agree or disagree, you come with a level of respect and willing to answer and respond. You're willing to listen. And it's hard to find, and not just online, but in general.
Well, let me explain one thing and I'll let you continue. It's all about true lived experience versus book read experience. So what ends up happening a lot of times is you'll hear people speak and it's something they read or heard third hand, not even second hand, third hand. And then you'll ask them about things and they'll get into the just believe me when I tell you. Well, just like you pointed out, you should be able to organically answer if it's your true lived experience. If not, then you're trying to push a narrative to me that you haven't truly worked out. You know what I'm saying? And that's where that comes from. So when I come in, even when it's stuff I don't know, you'll hear me quickly say, oh, I didn't know that. Please enlighten me. You see what I'm saying? Because it's not about being right. It's about being part of the moment. But please go ahead.
And I agree with that so much. And even when you add in book knowledge, as they would say, you have to take parts out of that you can apply to your life. And all knowledge is self-knowledge. So if you can't apply any of that you learn from a book to your life, at least the principles of it, then that knowledge was worthless.
Absolutely. It's the same thing I said to a couple of people online. Uh, there's a couple of popular people, and I made the point to them privately, your own children don't listen to you. So regardless of whether you might have X amount of thousands of followers online, your son and daughter ignore everything you say. That's telling. But go ahead, please continue, sir.
Yeah, it's normally a thing of either you're not worth listening to, or the people that, and possibly the person you had a child with, or the people you keep in your circle aren't worth listening to, and you're judged by that. It's like what you were saying before I came up, was you're judged by the person you choose to be with, and that's more so
Yep.
for a male than it is for a female. And a lot of
Mhm.
times as men, we don't know that, and we're not taught that.
Very true. But the sad part about it, when people like that's why I always let people know that I am from the hood and I used to do dirt because it's relevant. It's not that I'm bragging, it's because I don't want somebody from the hood to say I can't associate with what CA is saying. But CA's been at the same spot you've been, probably even greater. The only thing is we all have to remix the game. Once your friends have served their purpose, you need to find new friends. You need to find friends who shame you a little bit because that gets you out of your box. I'm the
Is
poorest I'm the poorest guy amongst my friends.
that's always what I say, is that if this person can't, and I used to look at it as I want to be the person given to people. And what I've learned is everyone has something to give if they're trying to be their authentic self. If they're not trying to be their authentic self and go after their goals and being focused, then that's when they run into not having nothing to give. You might get, you know, financial knowledge from one of your friends, but relationship knowledge you get it from another. Learning how to make something, you might get that from another. And all these different people will help each other. And if that person cannot add something to your life, even if it's just support, they're your biggest cheerleader. They help motivate you to, they may not be I like boxing, so I'll use that as an example. They might not be the best boxer, but they're in your corner helping you hydrate and motivating you and saying, hey, watch out for the jab, you know, keep your hands up.
Absolutely. And let's stick with boxing for a minute. But hold on. What industry do you work in?
Right now, I was in transportation. I was a driver,
Okay,
and
let's stick with transportation. I mean, you don't have to go into, but let's stick with transportation. So, yeah, let's use the boxing thing first. Remember Rocky? Who was the one who hurt him the most? Who was the one who set him back the most? The wife.
hmm
Always negative. Now, she was concerned, but she didn't know how to relay that concern.
yeah, she didn't
And
know
it,
how to relate it in a positive way.
right, it wasn't until she actually showed up for the fight that he got most of his energy. Because as you and I know, boxing is about mentality. You
Yeah,
know, you happen to slip up and somebody sidestep you and caught you. You don't keep thinking about that during the fight. You keep thinking about that during the fight. Now you making over adjustments. Now you get caught again. Now your confidence is gone.
yep,
You know what I'm saying? You got to get over that the fact you got clipped. That was half a round ago.
facts.
you you got to keep that. But see, you see how we're talking warrior right now? When it comes to the women out there listening to me and Sir talk this warrior talk, how are you supporting us? When we're talking this warrior talk, how are you supporting us? And that goes to Sir's point. Please continue, sir. You was dropping jewels.
Yeah, so that's the thing is even to go on the point that you just made, she voiced her concern in a negative way. So what her focus, knowing that she may not know a lot about boxing, um, her focus should have been like the wife on Southpaw. The wife on Southpaw felt the same thing and was coming from the same place, but
Different angle. Hmm.
she applied it in a positive way. She says, "You're waiting too long. I understand that once you get hurt, then you're able to get stronger and you go in and take it more serious and you hurt them. But you're waiting too long to do that. And you need to focus on, your skills because you're skillful. Focus on your skills and not just your aggression. And remember that me and you are a team. And when you fall, all these other people aren't going to be there. So focus on doing what's best for you and our family and go out there and kill them."
Now, see what women don't understand in this high value conversation. That is the type of pep point that you like. Because I tell you, that type of conversation coming out of your wife's mouth, you see how when she died, he was lost.
Yeah,
He was lost. That was his anti kryptonite. That was the thing that kills kryptonite.
yep,
So it's like, and that's why the daughter end up having to be somewhat of that for him in the end. Remember the very last scene, the daughter started being like that.
yes,
And women want us to fight the white man and be negotiators at home. It don't work like that. The woman's supposed to be the fertilizer. If she's not the fertilizer, sir, why is she there? Now let's
fact,
take it. Now let's take it to transportation for a minute. It don't matter if you were a driver or not. It don't matter. Come on up, Mosman. The link is pinned up. It doesn't matter if you were a driver or not. The question is your wife coming to you, hey, sir, you remember when you told me to get that job at the government post office? Even though I didn't want to work there, you were right, sir. The benefits are amazing. Baby, instead of driving from them, I have made some connections at my job. We can put your driving resume on the transportation team and get you in here. See, this is a team effort. But when you trying to
exactly.
figure it, but when you trying to figure it out on your own, sir, and she's trying to figure it out, why is she there? Please continue, sir. The mic is yours.
That's exactly right, and like that's just the amazing point is the the young lady that I'm now involved with is that type of person, and it's funny that we just had a conversation about that, and she understands that okay, well you're smart. I see how people respond to you, people who are the top of their field, no matter what it is, they respond to you at the same level. And I don't know if I can do that. And I'm like, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is do what you're supposed to do and support me. I'm going to support us. And that is the difference. I actually chose, and I'm not taking anything away from her, but I chose her over someone who was quote unquote, it was two separate ladies. Um, Someone who what you would say is, oh, well, she's drop dead gorgeous, but she had nothing else to offer except for a roll in the hay. And
Stop right there. Stop right there. I'm gonna let you continue, but stop right there. This is important for women to hear. You chose a woman, Mosman. You got to listen to this too, sir. You chose a woman who was less gorgeous because you saw her display value to you and your plan. Am I correct?
yes,
This is what I talk about all the time. Go ahead, sir.
like she is into me and my goal and my plan and whatever I'm trying to rock with. she's trying to rock with it, and us is me and her against the world. And the other female who I met a little before her, but around the same time, that one, she was just going to ride along. She just wanted to ride along, and she was like, okay, well, I see that you still, and she had the understanding too that you have so much potential and all of that, but she just wanted to ride along. I'm just going to be here. I'll be here, but I'm
She
just
pro-
here.
she provided no fertilizer. Let's go to Mosman for a minute. Mosman, you heard what Sir said. See, the other more pretty lady provided no fertilizer, Mosman. This is what I talk about in the wolf lifestyle. Hopefully, you and Sir listened to that video I dropped of me talking with the chick and running my level of wolf conversation in her ear. Uh, this is why I say I don't just talk this stuff. I actually live this stuff. You hear the woman in that video that I dropped talking all this sexual stuff, and you don't see me being impressed by it at all. And the fact that I wasn't impressed by it made her want it to give me more of it. See, because they're so used to black men not being calculated the way Sir just said. Mosman, please, you heard what Sir says. Tell me something on what Sir just said.
Salute, gents. Happy Sunday. It's as simple as could be. This isn't very hard to do or to execute. Just gotta not be emotional. Be tactical. Be a strategist.
I would agree with that because even the the act of saying, okay, well, this person is gorgeous, let me run to them. To me, that's not as important. I would say it this way, and not to be crude, that I treat a pretty hoe and an ugly hoe the same way. They the same.
They all the same. Also, Mr. Research, that was a great video. I heard that. It was nice.
It really was.
Yeah, I think the whole point that I wanted to put, because see, that happens to me all the time, and I wanted to point that stuff out there because see, a lot of YouTubers say that they do a certain thing, but you don't hear any evidence of it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of YouTubers say, and this wasn't me bragging, because see, what ends up happening is when I show people evidence, they say, "Why you put that up there? That's nasty. You bragging." No, I'm showing you when you are on your purpose, they will come. When you're focused on what you're supposed to be doing for your son and your daughter, they will come out the woodwork to be part of it because they want safety. You don't have to be arrogant. That's where you lose. When you're like, it's my way, and no, that's where you lose. You have to always be understanding, but understanding as you're driving past them.
That
No,
was
very
good.
serious. Please,
No,
please.
you're right though. You're right. It's just
You
funny the way you phrase it.
Yeah, because see, you being arrogant or you being a bully about it proves their point. You driving past and having a look of concern that she's standing in the rain at the bus stop makes her say, he cares. He just didn't stop. What could I have done to you see what I'm saying? It's different. It's different than a person just having their head straight, looking past like the person don't exist. No, you have to have empathy for women, but you have to have empathy driving past. And it's the woman's job to catch up to your Cadillac. It's the woman's job to catch up to your Porsche. Here come that Porsche. Here come that Porsche. I'm gonna make sure I have my flag out right now. Because it's not your job. See, you guys out there who are listening on the replay, you hate women because your friends hate women. You hate
Wow.
women. Let's dig into it before I go any further. Sir, explain to Mr. Mosman why that is. Is Sir still with us, sir? Sir, unmute yourself, sir.
You think the white man got him?
Yeah, I think the white man cut off his Comcast. Got to get that Boost Mobile plan. I heard it's $4.99. Okay, we lost Sir. Sir, girlfriend got him in the Alabama twist. So, but here's why that is, Mosman. It's because people who are not succeeding have the most complaints. When you're not succeeding with women, you have the most complaints. When you don't have lawyer money for child support court, you got the most complaints. When you look, I paid $50,000 for a child that isn't mine, Mosman. Do you hear me upset and mad? No.
Not at all.
No. It hurt. It wasted a lot of my time. But guess what? I had a loophole in the game. I had a loophole. It shouldn't have to be that way, Mr. Research. You're right. But I also am happy that I don't bleed every month. So, even exchange. Got to go work harder, work a second job, replace that 50K. Now we moving on. You see how that is, Mosman?
I do.
It's not
Super simple.
It's not about being mad. You can't be in a state of mad because the law loophole is what it is. We were talking about me and Fantastic were debating, and we were talking about the word resource and as it relates to Bitcoin. Well, as I tried to say to Mr. Fantastic after they've been arguing for 30 minutes, Mr. Fantastic, me and you are right. Resource is like gold, it's like money, it's like staff, true. But their perception is that a app on the phone is a resource to them. They are not incorrect because it's perception. Mosman sees a 6. I see a 9. It's perception. Mosman sees a 7. I see a L. It's perception. Mosman, what are your thoughts?
Perception is reality.
But whose reality?
Each individual person's reality.
Can't have two realities at the same time. This is my theoretical class in college. Go ahead, Mosman. You can't have two realities at the same time.
You can't.
Who?
So you can't.
Or can you? This is what my professor used to do to me.
Right.
Or can you, Mosman? So the answer really is two realities can exist at the same time in the same space per perception. 6 people looking at the same item are looking at it 6 different ways. Even if 3 people agree and 3 people agree, it's still 6 perceptions. And so on and so on. It's the most complex thing. Perception is the most complex thing to observe because there is no right and wrong answer. Time dictates who was wrong. Ain't that weird? Time dictates who was wrong. Because when a person wallows in a perception for so long, and then time puts them in a predicament that they can't control and they suffer from their perception, that is the only period of time they realize they were wrong. Sir, are you back with us?
I think he's fighting the white man.
Okay.
He won.
No, I'm here.
You won. That's good.
Hey, you beat the white man. Okay. We thought they had cut off your Comcast, man. Shit. We was doing a church service revival to get some donations. So, sir, whatever part of it you heard, go ahead and respond, sir.
It's really I really you kind of said it all. Um it's the fact of the matter is that you have to understand from your position of strength and your position of power. That's where you have to talk from. That's where you have to think from. That's how you have to work from. And understand that either you're helping yourself or you're hurting yourself. Either the person you're with is helping you or they're hurting you. There's really not any gray area.
Now, let's bring it back to women, gentlemen. As I said, I'm a high value dude. I call myself an established dude only because I make $3,000 less than the standard of high value. I don't make 10,000 a month. I make 7. Okay. So the problem really is when a woman comes into my world, even if I'm just having sex, I'm opening myself up for her to go left and ruin me. Let me say it again. Even if I'm just having sex. Remember the little Indian comedian guy?
Aziz Ansari.
Yes, I'm sorry. He did everything right. Are you sure you want to come back to my house? Are you sure you want to take off your clothes? Are you sure you want to spread your legs? He did everything he was supposed to do, but she still ruined his career temporarily. Isn't that weird? Even though he did everything he was supposed to do, her words still ruined. What do you say there about that, Mr. Sir?
I will blatantly say that that is 100% right. And until I started thinking on that level, I would find myself putting myself in those situations where where I did everything right, but the female was able to hurt me or at least threaten that, or I had to wonder about it.
Now, here's the funny part about what Sir just said. The guy never went to jail per se, but his perception was damaged. He lost contracts. He lost gigs. He lost money. Mosman.
A lot of bad luck. Because I'm digesting all this. Of course, I've heard about his situation before, but there's just
It's
lots
not
of
bad luck. It's not bad luck. There's a loophole in the law, and men are not fixing it. Men are allowing it to just float on. Float.
who's gonna write the
Float
bill.
on. You got to float on, baby. Huh? What's that?
Who's gonna write the bill?
Men. It takes 40,000, 60,000 to write a bill. It takes somewhere between 2 and 12,000 to get it to the house of your state. I mean, 2 to 12 million to get it to the house of your state. The House of Representatives in Wisconsin is different from the House of Representatives in Alabama. Then once it gets there, one of those people take it up and shoot it to the House of Representatives. Now, what you can do is circumvent all that and find one of your Senate people from your state, and they'll walk it straight up to the Senate. Or you can find one of the House people in your state, and they'll walk it straight up to the House of Representatives. You can do that. But those are the only 4 ways that it gets looked at.
Thank you.
Unless you do like a measure or a proposition, they're a little bit cheaper. You can go to any college campus and get somebody to write a bill for you for probably a couple of thousand. And then the tricky part is getting it sponsored to get put on the ballot. That's the tricky part. So you can kind of circumvent that. But that's the whole purpose. That's why people kind of look at black men as children, because we're supposed to work in an effort to do those things. You're supposed to work so that you change your block. You ain't supposed to own a house just to own a house. You're supposed to own a house to change your community. You're supposed to change your community so you can change your county, not just sit back and say, man, they keep raising taxes. So what do you guys feel about this? The white guy, Representative Tom Cotton, put in a proposal a week ago to raise child support on men. Let's start with Sir. What are your thoughts?
I think that it's an excellent way for them to imprison a lot of men. It's an excellent way to make a bunch of money for the state and for the individual counties. It's excellent money grab. It's a money grab. It's like the Mayweather Conor McGregor fight, the Mayweather Logan Paul fight. It's a money grab.
So 4 years from now, men are going to be blaming women for this. Why are men not trying to stop him now?
Because they're too distracted with either the women in their life being, just foolish there, or, whatever thing they allow to distract them. They're not focused.
Not focused. Mr. Mosman, what are your thoughts?
There's going to be a time to where it's going to be too late for us to be paying attention to these issues. Some would say that's already here, but because I'm an optimist, I still have hope in us that there's some sort of cognitive, mental, cultural change that happens for us as men. I just don't know if it's already too late.
Interesting. Well, I look at it like this, gentlemen. Somebody's going to start blaming women, and a bunch of dudes are going to fall in love with it and forget that Tom Cotton is the one that did it. People got to remember, child support would have been easier for all men if Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell had not stopped Obama from his child support law he was trying to pass, which would have alleviated the interest for millions of men in prison, and you could have used that law for men outside of prison. Because if he had got it passed for those in prison, he could have extrapolated that now that it's in law for other men. Because the interest is really what hurts in child support. It's not the principal money. What are your thoughts, sir?
Exactly. The interest is what kills you. And if you realize that 9 times out of 10, the interest on it usually doesn't even, as they say, trickle down to the actual child.
Not at all. Mosman?
It seems to me that they're losing money. That's why they are increasing the payments.
No, there's no loss of money. No, all the money comes from the Treasury. So Title IV is a documented thing. Child support only exists so that the Treasury can be replenished with dollars. That's the only reason they allowed child support to exist. Before child support, white men were running around just impregnating kids and leaving them. The child support was not created because Latin men and black men was doing the wrong thing. Child support was created because white guys was leaving babies everywhere. Every fucking where. And this was the days of radio.
And not just white men. White men with usually decent or substantial means. It wasn't a whole bunch of broke men just running around leaving babies. It was
Oh,
men
oh no,
who,
no, yeah, those moles had money.
yeah,
They had money to bounce out of the country. They had money to bounce to another state. It was crazy. It was crazy. When I was researching it, I was like, Jesus Christ, these dudes just squirt and go.
yeah. And that
It's
was the
like,
thing that I thought was like, okay, once I realized what it was and I understood from reading and understanding that, okay, well, it was based off of white men. I thought, well, maybe these are low earning white men. And then I start researching it and it's like, no, these are well off and some even rich white men who are
yep.
blatantly doing this on purpose. It wasn't like I didn't know. It's I know. I know that's my baby, but nah, I'm good on all parts of that.
What's so funny is, the lack of penis control was amazing because it's like you just going from child to child to child to child. It's like, I mean, from creating child to child to child. It's like the dude, the white guy who had all those children. I think his name was Ari something. Had all those children in New York, just renting out himself as a sperm bank. Well, here's what he don't understand because there's a loophole in the law. Each woman has the ability, regardless of what they sign, to file for some type of bereavement or endearment to say they can't handle it and he has to pay. The proof of this is there's been lesbians who have convinced their straight male friends to help them with a baby. I know two cases. The lesbians broke up and then they each sued this guy for child support, their former male friend. Let's start with Mosman. What do you think, Mosman?
That specific case, I wouldn't even have thought. I wouldn't even have thought that that was a thing that could happen. Two lesbians suing one man.
Oh, wait. Two lesbians, meaning that the male lesbian and the female lesbian sued the guy simultaneously for the same kid. Let's go to Mr. Sir. Sir, what are your thoughts?
Yes, that's why I look at it now that any transaction that you have with a woman needs to be recorded some type of way. Especially on that level. You need to have paperwork. You need to have audio and possibly video recording. You got to protect yourself at all times because that's what happens is, oh, while we're happy with you and you're doing what we want or what we think we want at the moment, everything is fine. But as soon as that changes, everything changes.
This is what's really scary about you guys' age group because the guys in you guys' age group are yelling at y'all, believe me. And they have no historical proof in the things they say. And then you guys befriend these people because they sound so passionate and sound like they know what they're talking about. And then you read up some law later, and you're like, what the hell? Larry is wrong. What the hell? And this is why it's so frustrating for older brothers like ourselves who are somewhat experienced at this stuff, and we understand how these things work. We don't want y'all misled, but y'all love Larry so much that you're willing to walk around with 15 years of bad information.
Well,
And then,
Mr. Research. Sorry, go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
Mr. Research. That's all well and good, but I don't like to read. I don't like to read. So what you're talking about right now is very foreign to me.
I'm being a coon right now, huh?
Yeah. I'm gonna go tell Massa.
Massa, he reading.
Oh my God, that's funny. All right, let's move on to one more. Somebody said, should a stepdad get child support for being there and helping? No. So what the stepdad has to do is legally be the ward of those children. If the stepdad is legally the ward for those children, he can receive possibly the child support. So yes, I've known a situation where a guy adopted the twin daughters of a girlfriend he used to date after that girlfriend got hooked on drugs. So yeah, you can make that happen. Again, there are loopholes in the law, gentlemen, loopholes in the law. So here's my last point. We're going to be wrapping up soon. So going back to what I said to the young lady that I was talking to, she was like, I want to serve you, and I was like, okay, well, do you have a great mouth? And I didn't care about the sexuality. That is the talent everybody as a wolf needs to master. You need to master that when a woman tells you she's going to lick your butthole, don't care. Don't laugh. Don't do all that. It shows that you're powerless. It shows that you're not used to nothing. Women like the mystery of a man. You're confident, you're definite about what you say, and you're not as responsive to what she says. Let me show you another thing. A young lady a minute ago, she's 4'6", living here in San Francisco. She reached out to me. Like I said, I only deal with expensive websites because it's a higher caliber of women, but all women go left. But she's 4'6". She said something to me, and I asked her a simple question. So, what about my profile interested you? You see how I'm not acknowledging what she's talking about? I'm doing what I want to do. I'm getting to know her on my basis, not letting her lead. The minute that didn't happen, she said, what the hell are you talking about? You sound slow. And she blocked me. I don't care. Because that women who are trying to run game get frustrated when you don't behave like other dudes have behaved with her in her past. Mosman, what are your thoughts?
You play by your own rules. As a cowboy in life, you are to go chase new frontiers and just ride right past them.
And whoever is in the review mirror is in the review mirror. It's not a difficult thing, but this is why I don't hate women. Let's go to Sir. What are your thoughts?
I would agree 100% with that. A woman who's trying to play games is always going to get mad when you don't respond like other men. Oh, well, I'm trying to manipulate you with sex. I really don't care. Oh, well, I'm trying to play the victim. I really don't care. Oh, well, you're a big meanie. I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm not trying to be mean, but it is what it is.
Thank you.
So, i.e., I really don't care.
Right. You either want to be part of this ship or you don't.
Yep.
That's all it comes down to.
Crap, or get off the pot.
That's all it comes down to. Because see, this ship is moving. Okay. And I'm not trying to convince you. I ain't gonna call you no bitch. I ain't gonna do none of that. Because time, and you see how I came full circle on this? Because time is gonna show who's right and who's wrong. When I drive past you with the chick who did choose to listen, and you're standing with the dude who's walking with you because he can't afford to put both of y'all on the bus, then you'll wake up.
Exactly.
We as black men gotta stop caring. Let's go to Mosman. We gotta stop caring. Because when you guys go around these dudes constantly start talking about women, you care. You care. You care to see these women hurt. That's why you go to the circle jerk. Stop caring. Last night I was on Radical's channel, and Universal Trip said something. And we were just talking about the topic. All of a sudden, she pops out, I don't come to your channel. You come to my channel and blah, blah, blah. And everybody's like, whoa, where is this coming from? And I said, no, fellas, let her finish. Listen to her completely. Let her finish. She, oh, da-da-da-da-da. I said, okay, gentlemen, what you just saw is a woman who cannot discipline herself to stay on topic. She has to insult personally just to be relevant on the topic that we're discussing on men and women. At no point in time did I say anything about channel, but you keep mentioning my name. I'm mentioning your name because I'm referencing what you're saying. But no problem, men, these women hate you. Just drive past them. Let them fend for themselves. If the white boyfriend is beating them, drive past. If they can't afford it, drive past. The number one problem we have amongst black men is that black women make anti-black male statements, and in the end, it's always a black man saving them. Look at Tarana Burke, the black woman with the acne and skin condition. White men tried to molest her on the job. White women tried to push her out the Me Too movement. But who did she spend her whole time talking against? Black men. They actually caught her on Twitter, said, why don't you ever say something about white men? She said, that's not my demographic. What? Hold on. But the white dude is the one who went after you to make you even start this movement. What are you talking about? And guess who ended up marrying her? The black man. Elizabeth, the woman who started all the gender bashing back in 2007 on this YouTube. I'm going to take women to Rome and find an Italian man. I had such a great experience with Italian men. I'm engaged to an Italian man now. Guess who she's married to in 2020? A black man. Paris Milan, engaged to an African guy. African guy is toothless, says nothing about the anti-black male stuff that Paris Milan says. Who's Chrissy engaged to? An African guy. African guy says nothing about the anti-black male stuff she says. Look at Cynthia G and her family. Two of these women got biracial babies. They were left by white men, but they never talk about white men. See, gentlemen, we're not going to win this war. Having a voice, trying to insult these chicks, shame these chicks, bring these chicks to the table, you're not going to win that war. Wolf away. Get in your convertible car, drive past them, and get with the chick that's happy to be in your passenger seat. Let's start with Sir. What do you think, sir?
I think that's the best way to say it, period, is drive past these. It's like leaving Sodom and Gomorrah. They want to be in Sodom and Gomorrah. Don't even look back.
Don't even look back.
That's how you become salty, is when you look back.
Don't even look back. It's not that you hate women. Stop falling in love with hating women. Simply stop caring and drive past it. Because 30% of the women are great. 30%. You see, I went up. I used to say 20%. 30% of the women are great. But let the woman who sees you catch up with you. Stop trying to convince these chicks that they're important. Remember, the Instagram model and all these women who have bad attitudes toward black men, it's a black man bankrolling her. You're not going to defeat that with your words of, you women need to change. You're not going to, because Leroy has just given her $1,000. I ain't like the mother niggas. I like you. Shake that. You can't defeat that. Only time defeats that. When she hits 40, then she'll be blowing up the senior dating app. Blowing it up. Until then, gentlemen, you can't defeat it. Stop trying. Mosman, what are your thoughts?
there'll be some brothers that would ask, okay, wolf away, stop caring, and then what? Well, my contribution to that answer would be to use that peaceful energy to manifest your dreams. We in our community, we need inventors, engineers, we need
Whoa, 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 whoa!
musicians.
What dreams? My dream is for a female to obey me.
Uh, that
Fuck
that's a
my
pretty
son.
weak
Fuck my
dream.
son. Fuck my son. I don't care about him. I want a woman to do what I say do when I say do.
That's
You
whack.
see how you see how futile that is? you don't even know how to you don't even know how to respond to that thinking. This is why I said a lot of dudes on the manosphere. Shout out to Levi Bond. A lot of dudes on the manosphere. That's their whole goal. I want to forget my son and my daughter. I'm not trying to leave them no second and third. I'm not trying to make sure they have a house all they own. I do not want to go out and buy a $15,000 house for my daughter at 6 months old so she can be a 720 credit girl by the time she's 12. I don't want to do that. Okay. What I want to do is get this worthless chick over here to obey me. And I just met her 2 days ago. And because she won't do that, now I'm going to spend 16 hours calling these women all types of names. Mosman, please continue.
It's interesting that you talk about owning houses and things of that nature, because before your stream started, I was writing down learn how to pay property taxes. So I'm trying to figure out, okay, after the house is paid off, unfortunately in America, you don't exactly own anything, you got property taxes. So my mindset is to be a forward thinker and learn how to pay those in the future, because I can't pay them right now, but to understand the process so I can be strategic in what I do.
Absolutely, because you don't need a woman who's so focused on pleasing her girlfriends. You need a woman that's focused on, hey, how can we buy up the whole block? The Ethiopian guy who just moved 2 doors down from me, he's already looking at other property. He just got the house freaking January. But we're playing games. His sister goes to the local community college. She comes straight over there to go to sleep. She got a key. The other brother, he paid for 75% of the house. He works in tech, so he's using his tech money not to stay in tech, but to do other stuff. See, we're out here playing games, and these YouTubers are out here entertaining us with tap dancing. Let's go to Sir. Sir, what are your thoughts on what Mr. Mosman said?
I definitely agree. I definitely agree that the focus has to be down the road and not just write something stupid in front of us. We can't keep looking down and tripping over, our own feet or being distracted by stuff that has nothing to do with our goals.
Now, just to prove a point, while we're talking, I'm communicating with some women on my, like I said, I pay $169 a month for this website. It's a higher caliber of women. Gentlemen, what do you think about this young lady here who I'm currently communicating with? You tell me what your thoughts are on this young lady.
Wow. She looks like she has really healthy skin.
Do you see why I don't care about women the way other dudes in the manosphere do? You see why I don't hate women? This is a black woman. You see why I don't hate? I got manager money. I do get access to higher caliber of women. But even though I do, I don't care. I don't care whether you're more attractive to me, gentlemen. I don't care whether you got more muscle than me. Don't care whether you got more money than me. I am mentally strong in the art of
I don't care if I win. I don't care if I lose. I'm on my purpose. Sir, what are your thoughts?
That's the way to be. You be as water. Water doesn't care if it's in a cup or if it's in the teapot. It's going to keep flowing. Or it's just going to sit there and chill.
Just don't care. So, gentlemen, my last comment, and we're gonna start doing last comments. I'm gonna go first. Gentlemen, my last comment is simply this, fellas. If you really want a lot of sex, do like the white men do. Make this supervisor money and just pay and go to an orgy. Orgy is only $200. You can screw for 4 hours. There will be no Me Too repercussions. But if you're a cheap, broke brother, or you're a just enough brother, then you're going to be looking for these circles that you can complain about women with. Yeah, but you paid. Yeah, because my time is more valuable. I'd rather give you $200 than waste 30 minutes on the phone for free that I can't get back. I can't get that back. So you got to understand, where is the value of what you're doing? If you waste an hour on the phone trying to get this chick for free, how much money did you lose? How much money did you lose? If I make $50 an hour, if I make $50 an hour and I waste 2 hours talking to a chick, I have lost $100. So what's the difference in calling Ling Sing Wah? Hey, Ling Sing. Hey, honey. You want the sucky suck in the anal today? Yeah. Make sure you're clean, baby. Make sure your anal's clean. Okay? No brown. No, not for you, big daddy. You got 200 for me? Oh, yes, absolutely. Come on, sweetheart. Come on. I know some people did not want to hear that, but let's keep it 100. The $200 means nothing. The $100 mean nothing. If you make $50 an hour, if you're making $100 an hour, why do you care about this $200? Because when you go out there for free and you make all these free moves, the woman has 40 years to come back to you, Mosman. The woman has 40 years by law to come back to you, sir, and say you did something inappropriately. And it's up to you to defend yourself for what you did 40 years ago. That's my last thought. Let's go to Sir. What are your last thoughts?
I would say that if you spend any money on a woman, with a woman, around a woman, that you would not do for free, or if you wasn't interested in having sex with her, it's tricking either way. So do it the cheapest way, do it the quickest way to get to your point. If you have no interest in her other than sex, do it the quickest way. If your talk game is that quick that you can quickly make it happen, and that's what you're about, do it that way. Other than that, it's better to pay, because the cheapest woman is the one that's going to cost you the most.
And look, just like Sir says, if your mouth game is great, you can get it done. Great. But don't blame her if she puts you in court because of that mouth game. Don't blame her if your penis didn't have no control and your pump and dump game, you end up having a kid. Because I'm trying to tell you, you see what Tom Cotton is doing. These laws are not joking. Let's go to Mosman. What are your final thoughts?
Gentlemen, and this is for any gentleman who's listening now or on the replay. We really got to start reading more. We really got to start encouraging our young men to read, our young girls to read. Because when we're searching for information that could put us in advantageous situations, it's important to have that research practice, the long hours to dedicate yourself to putting yourself in a position to beat the white man, to beat every other man who's in your way from achieving your goals.
Thank you very much. And this was to help Black women understand that as valuable guys, we're totally different from Just Enough brothers. Just Enough brothers are doing just enough to survive. And when the adversity comes, they're the first ones to complain. Somebody help me, Black community. I thought we was Black community. Man, you know I was just playing. I need help. See, we're not the Just Enough brothers. And then the low producing brothers, ladies, they in your passenger seat anyway. So I have nothing to say about the low producing brothers. Much love. Sayonara. Holla at y'all. Thank you for joining. Peace. Salute.